Okay, so I'm Patrick, of course, and this is my negative rebuttal. Okay, so you say we don't need textbooks, but we really do. I mean, not everybody learns well electronically. I don't personally. I know plenty of other people too. I mean, basically anybody born earlier than the 80s. I mean, I'm born in not earlier than the 80s, but But I mean, people that struggle with that weren't born into this like technological age. I mean, they don't learn well electronically. You can't highlight or no, I guess you can't. Shit. But the cost of putting computers in classrooms would far exceed that of supplying textbooks to the schools that the students can either buy or rent and use over and over and over again. Um, Also, I mean, kids don't have their. I mean, a lot of kids in elementary and high school don't have tablets or laptops, and maybe in high school, but certainly not everybody. Um, so then that wouldn't be a viable learning method either. Um, and you say that the process of like renting and buying textbooks is like uh, complicated. But I mean, when I was in high school, it was very streamlined. I mean, you just go to the library and swipe your card. Someone hands you your books. That's it. Elementary school, we didn't even have textbooks, but I think we're discussing high school because we're discussing the standardized testing. Uh, then, I mean, if we implemented computers, we'd have we'd have to teach students that were not familiar with technology how to use it, and that'd just pose additional challenges. Later on, you mentioned that if that teachers don't want to teach to state standards. I mean, if they don't, let them leave. I mean, if they don't want to teach according to standards that are set up by the government in order to create uh, you know, equal schooling like nationwide, then it's just I don't know. They don't deserve really to be teachers. Let them let them go teach like college or something, community college where they can teach whatever they want to. But you mentioned in an example that they can't teach chapters in the orders that they want to, but they really can. I mean, standardized testing is at the end of the school year, and so I mean they will have covered everything by then. If they want to teach something before something else, go right ahead. Um, you also say that students should be responsible for education, but to expect high schoolers to be all stoked and into getting high school educated as opposed to like concentrating on college is perhaps going to be further down the road, then I mean it's the teacher and the school's responsibility to help keep them interested and stuff. It's not their responsibility to sit through a dry, boring lecture and really soak up and stuff. Then you ask, why do we compare states? Well, because we want to set a nationwide education standard. We don't want, students from Alabama to be failing miserably in life and contributing to a failing economy while kids in, say, like New York or something are excelling. I mean, we want we want to make sure everybody's being taught equally the same things. I mean, it's basically just equality and, I mean, again, just setting a nationwide standard. Um, you also say that different schools and different regions teach differently. This may be true, but they're teaching the same stuff, maybe in a different style because of cultural reasons or something else. I mean, there's plenty of different strategies. I mean, I'm taking an intercultural communications class right now, so we're learning about how that kind of stuff works. And I mean, just because they're teaching differently in a different style doesn't mean they're not teaching the same stuff necessarily. And um, you say, why not trust teachers to grade evenly? Well, I mean, if it's subjective grading, it's going to be unequal, but we don't necessarily use subjective materials to assess education levels or whatever, education proficiency statewide. We use standardized testing is all multiple choice. That's about as objective as you can get, and that's what we use to assess our nation's schools. And in the end, you say, what does war have to do with schools? That was just a brief example of, like, you saying that standardized testing is costing schools or costing our country a ton of money that could be spent towards other aspects of education instead, but we spend such a vast quantity on war, welfare, all this other stuff that, I mean, that really doesn't make a difference. We could we could just redirect the money from the war fund or something. I mean, not that it'll happen, but that's all I meant by that. Okay, that's it.